Hey guys, I just recorded an update video that I don't know whether it will be out already by the time you see this one or whether that will be coming out after this. But today I want to talk about not a book in the Sisters Grimm series. Surprisingly, I was gonna do number 2, but then I went to my shelf and discovered someone took all of them but 3. So I didn't want to do it in order, so. But I had this book from the library that I requested and finished it today, and so, Five Nights at Freddy's, Tales from the Pizzaplex, number 1 Lally's game. I've read all of the previous series, Fazbear Frights, except for number 12, which is actually at the library right now, and I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And there's always, like, this warning on the back, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, readers beware, this collection of terrifying tales is enough to rattle even the most hardened Five Nights at Freddy's fans. There was that's warnings on all of the books. And the previous series, rarely ever scared me. Maybe I cried a bit. If any of you have read that, the story where there's the 2 guys and then the cat, and then it kills off one of the guys and the cat. I cried so much in the middle of that one, and I cried at the end of the second story in the Blackbird. So that kid, he suffered a lot. That's not even really a horror story. But so I picked this one up, and the first story is actually kind of interesting, but because it builds upon an idea that was shown in the previous series. I don't remember the name of the story, and I really don't feel like looking it up, but the one, To Be Beautiful. To Be Beautiful, that one. It builds upon this idea from that one, but this person's been spending her whole life with this heart necklace around her, and she's been shaving it off to go and save patients at the children's hospital she works at, or other people that she just randomly comes upon that are dead or dying or close to dead. That's what dying means. I don't know why I just said that. But she slowly goes through it, and it's barely a sliver eventually. And there's this one girl with cancer that she's afraid is gonna die, and she really likes and wants to save. But she's also really likes this one guy in her high school or college class, I could never really tell. Then goes to prom with him. And basically things go wrong, and grease comes off her lips when she kisses him. So she runs away and shaves the blast of it off onto the one girl to save her, and she crumbles into a pile of machine parts. Just gonna say, the whole time that these, she's been doing throughout the story, there's been just, random machine parts falling off now. And, they're so confused, why is there a gear here? Why is there a car muffler here? Why is there all this junk in this children's hospital that's supposed to be clean? So I enjoyed that one. Didn't really scare me per se. I don't usually get scared with these ones, as I said before. But I am going to have to mention number 2 in the story, the actual titular story. Normally the titular story is first, but Lally's game, I should mention, the first story is called Frailty, which makes a lot of sense in this context. But so the titular story, Lally's Game, is number 2 in this book. This scared me. For the first time, one of these stories actually scared me. Doesn't help, I am in constant fear of someone watching me and staring at me from corners, which is then weird because I stare at a couple of people myself. Maybe I should heed my own fears and not stare at people, but so basic gist of this, there's a character named Selena, which is also the name of my cat, but she's her fiance and her are moving back to his mom's hometown, and when they're moving, she notices this trunk that he won't let her see what's inside of it. But she's just hoping to have a good life, and doesn't let it get in the way, and although she sees some photos in her fiance's old room because she's staying with his mom for now because they're not married. Makes sense. And about this like robot named Lally at the Pizzaplex. And so she confronts him about this, and he's like, "No, I don't want to talk about this. Very distant." And they get married and everything, move in. And the first day after their marriage, then she's in the house, she's working on stuff, and she starts thinking about that uneasy feeling she had about the trunk and him keeping secrets. She goes and tries to find the trunk, and she hunts all over the house. And she finally finds it and breaks the lock and starts to open it, but doesn't see inside because her fiance Cade comes in. Well, husband Cade at that point. And so she goes up to lunch, and he's like, when he finds out she opened it, and he goes down and there's nothing in it, he's like really, really scared. But that night when he's been like up all night searching and such, she convinces him maybe it's just his imagination. And then she starts to see Lally, the thing he was scared of. And it's kind of, she finds out that there was an accident at the Pizzaplex where Lally killed the kid because he went into the game with Cade. And apparently the game's only made for 2. Yes, Selena dies. Which is sad and scares me. And then Cade goes on, gets engaged to someone else. It's scary and weird. I don't like the idea that someone could be watching me. The third story is weird. It's just weird. It's called Under Construction. Basic idea: this girl named Maya is at the Pizzaplex with 2 of her friends for her birthday, and she wants to go see this AR game that's like designed for like birthdays and such. And turns out it's under construction, but she breaks into it anyway and sets it up. And she sees like this big party. She thinks she takes it off and goes on with her life. But then everyone starts getting cancer, like everyone. And like these blob people start showing up on the street. And it's just weird. And then like everyone she knows dies of cancer. And she gets overwhelmed by the blob people, but she has a thought before she's overwhelmed with it. What if I never took off the AR headset? What if I'm still in that? I believe MatPat made a theory on that. I'll link the video down below, but actually that seems very plausible having read this now, but yeah, that was just weird overall. And I'm not gonna spoil like the little black section in the end, just I'm not a gore person. This doesn't describe gore a lot, but blood. Lots and lots of blood. I mean, it mentioned a grisly sight in Lally's game, which gives you a basic idea of what goes on in these, and somehow I've never gotten scared before that one, but we'll see. I'm set to pick up Felix the Shark, the last one in the Fazbear fights, and then maybe I'll cover that series from the library tomorrow, and I requested the second Tales from a Pizzaplex book, but I haven't heard anything back, so, because it's an interlibrary thing through MN Link. So I'll probably cover that one when I get it and have read through it, but I mean, highly suggest this if you're not someone that gets easily scared, but even if you're someone that is scared of things like I am, it's still a good book. You just might want to avoid the middle one. So I think that's a good book review for today. Why did I scoot the camera? So I'll see you guys all later.